I had tried on my own to slide some tubes and rails before the camp because it didn't seem like much could go wrong. You just fall off the side. Yeah, very hit and miss, sometimes successful and sometimes super painful.
Come here, come here, come here.
One thing that was really helpful for me with learning to slide properly was having the weight on the front foot, because oftentimes when it would go bad for me, it would be that I had all my weight on my back foot and I would slip out and I would just slam my hip on the feature. I had a bruise, like I'm not exaggerating, this big on my hip after that camp, and I was wearing hip protectors. But I just slammed so many times when I would be too back-seated. So one of the coaches at some point said, like, put your hand down by your knee on your front leg. And I started doing that, and it really was a game changer.
Excellent. Look at the end.
I often like to have people I'm coaching just try to stand on a box, imagining that they're gonna do it. Because on a box compared to snow, you'll feel when the skis are flat versus on edge. Definitely back foot has to be flat. Front foot often ends up a little bit on edge, but try to keep it flat. Because look what happens when you try to keep it flat. You get the weight forward where we want to have it, so that we don't slip off and land on the hip. Let's do a trick out. Smooth. The line is alive.
Later it got into the thing of like using that front ski to kind of like steer for trying any kind of switch outs or like 270s out. And so then, I don't remember how we practiced it, but it kind of came naturally, like having the back foot solid and the front foot sort of naturally would go to the inner edge. And then you could kind of, guide whether am I gonna go out forwards and like put the toe down, or am I trying to go out backwards and lift, put the toe down or lift the toe up to go out, switch.
Wow.
That was my best one all day. And I think I watched a Stomp It video once where you were showing some drills you could do where you're just on like the ground and you find like a line on the ground or something and just standing on that in your ski boots and like pointing your toe up or pointing your toe down, like to feel this thing of imagine that's a tube or a rail and like what to do with your feet. And I remember doing that drill, but at the time I wasn't like I was near, but I wasn't yet using that in my rail slides. But then that season I did start doing that, so maybe that drill did help me.
You balance on the front foot's heel and then the back foot's toe. It's kind of hard. This way you can start rotation. Or you do the opposite, that you have the front foot's toe down and the back foot's heel down to spin the other way. And if you balance this way, you'll automatically on the box or rail start rotating front side. Then you can try doing it with the heel down and the toe down. That will rotate your backside. Nice. So realistic, actually.
Send it, Chelsea. Drop in. Yeah, Chelsea needed to get the toe down a little bit there. To commit a little bit more to the switch.
I think the more I started sliding them, the more respect I had for them because I learned how painful it is when you fall. And that was a mental challenge because it was like, okay, I'm now scared of these things a little bit, but I do still want to learn them. So I always was sure to try easier features, smaller features that weren't very high off the ground, big fat tubes. I kind of took it back to basics and really wanted to get my technique right, sliding those so that I could in the future go slide bigger stuff if I wanted to. All right. think my first big milestone was conquering that blue tube at the bottom of P60 at my first camp. Everybody, at the time, the tube down there was blue. It was really fat. It was really low to the ground. So we were hitting it a lot during that week, and I was never making it to the end. And it just was tiring, like falling, taking your skis off, hiking back up, going down again, falling, and I was just like exhausted, mentally, physically, and just getting so frustrated because I couldn't get to the end.
Yes! Yeah.
And the coaches were just like, keep trying, like you just have to keep trying this. So I did, and it took what felt like forever, and I had many, many a time where I was like, this is my last attempt, and then I would go do it, I would fail, and then I'd be like, no, I'm walking back up again. And so I really had to like re-motivate myself over and over to keep trying. And then I finally did it.
Yes!
Yes, like I did this. I was like angry at that tube by that point. And I like overly stomped it, and that was quite funny, but it was also just like, yes, finally, you know? And then I did it a few more times, and I even achieved going out switch, so that was nice. But that was a big hurdle, like, I don't know what it was about that tube, but it was so hard for me, and then I finally got it. Yeah.